Well, I wanted to come on here, say hi, what's up, do a little check-in, um, and let everybody know how my trauma recovery is going, my recovery from my concussion, and how things are going, where things are going. Um, I really appreciate, okay, I really appreciate all of the support. Like, it's been quite a time. I am really grateful for um, being able to make you all laugh. um, and I'm really grateful for the conversation of mental health and how important that is. Mental health is health, and it's just not something that should be swept under the rug or separated from ourselves, or it needs to be integrated and accepted. So, um, I am wanting to let y'all know what I've been doing to take care of myself and where I'm going. Um, my concussion happened in October 2022. I was hospitalized twice. So I was hospitalized once. I was rushed to the emergency room 3 times, and um, there's follow-ups and check-ins and things like that with my doctor, and um, but a lot of chaos happened around that time. There was an attempted break-in, um, and that um, made it where I had to relocate, relocating into a not so friendly area, which unfortunately is something I'm dealing with right now. From there, I moved with my family in Texas and had a really challenging time there. And then I relocated back to Colorado and tried to pick things up again. Um, it seems as though there's some people that don't want me to be successful, and they're making it their job to try to get in the way of that. Um, Many groups of people, but definitely the videos that I've been posting about my landlords and property manager and anybody associated with them is relevant. I think that they have been, I don't think, they have admittedly so turned off my internet and raised the AC so it would be hot in my unit, not fixing any maintenance requests, being really noisy, just doing everything that they could to disrupt my work and my life in general. Um, I have not great news about that situation. The great news is that we're going to court and we're going to settle this situation in court. The not great news is that my window was shattered on Monday of this week. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I don't think all of the instances led up to something just innocent happening. I've lived in Colorado for almost 3 years, on and off, sure. But I visited multiple times from 2016 to then moving here in 2020. I've never had a shattered window. I've driven all over the state, so not just to Denver and Boulder. Estes Park. I've gone to several different national parks. I've lived in Grand Junction and Palisade, and um, went to Salida and Monarch and Gunnison and all over the state. Um, so Breckenridge, Vale, it's really peculiar to me that a window can just shatter, my driver's side window of that, at that. So some concern there. I think someone followed me and someone shot something at my window. I'm going to put a pause on that until all the evidence is collected. But that is something that's going to be under review during court. So I wanted to mention that because I'm sure everybody's kind of concerned with people intentionally trying to harass me and follow me and open my door and things like that. So I wanted to give you an update on that. I do think that everything will be just fine. And I want to share how I've been coping with that and coping with my concussion recovery and things like that. Uh, um, I didn't introduce myself. Sorry. Many people know me already. I'm Anura Mathis, a Freedom to Fight. Thank you for listening and watching my show. I do want to point out that my name is pretty unique, and so many people get it wrong. It's Anura. It's pronounced Anura, like Ann, Your, and then the Anura. And it is, yeah, not a common name. So if you get it wrong, I'll be forgiving. But if you say it wrong intentionally, meaning if you don't give it full effort to say it right, I'm going to beat you up. just so you know. You're going to catch these hands. Anyway, next. Don't say my name wrong, okay? Just don't. Anyway, I just want to say that these moments of crisis have really highlighted a lot of things for me. So it's like being put to the test, you know? Your values are put on the table. Who are you really when nobody's looking or when you're under pressure? And I think that as these as much as these people have tried to break me down or stalk me or harass me or what have you, it's really just given me the fuel to keep going and to do things to really like solidify my values. I'm my own person and I'm not going to be controlled by people. I'm not going to be controlled by people's fear of me. So I think that their intention is to take from me, but really what they're giving to me is more power, is more strength, more control over myself. And the fact that they're trying so hard to do that just makes me, it validates me in a way. Like if I didn't have anything of value, they wouldn't be coming for me, you know? And I think everybody should remember that having people in your life that don't agree with you is okay. But they're telling you, hey, you have something of value. We want to stop you from saying those things or doing those things, being successful, whatever it is, whatever you're pursuing. People in opposition of that will teach you some really important lessons. So, and I don't want to make the argument that it's me against them or us and them. It's not. It really isn't. I want to explain this, that it's more like we're all just playing a role. You know, I'm playing the role of myself, but I'm also playing the role of somebody in my position. You know, I'm a Black woman, but I'm also another person that's being oppressed or trying to be stopped in some way. You put it in the context that you need it to be in, but I'm playing a role and they're playing a role. And the role they're playing is just really an opposition. And they may feel completely justified. I don't think that it's entirely, you know, innocent, you know, and I'm only doing what I'm told or whatever the argument is. I think that the answer is that I don't have to get caught up in other people's feelings about me. We can argue facts, and there is a clear, reasonable solution to hearing each other's side and coming with a solution. negotiations happen daily. It's a part of our culture. Going to the court system does not have to be a challenging experience, although it can be taxing. It's it's when people are trying to justify their hate. I just don't have to participate in that at all. I don't have to pay attention to that at all. I know that they're going to lie. I know that they're going to do everything they can to stop whatever I'm trying to do. And so I don't even want to harp on that narrative anymore. I don't care. I don't give a shit about what anybody is trying to do in opposition to me. Of course, I'm going to be safe as I can be, but I'm not responsible for anyone's hatred. I'm responsible for myself and what my goals are. And my goals are to make sure that I'm in control of the things that I'm creating. I don't want anybody to manage it. I don't want anybody to be in charge of what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And I don't care for that. I really don't care for having a boss, or I might have creative people that want to give me feedback or collaborate with me. I'd love that. Love to have more people on the show, but I am not interested in anybody that has the desire and intention to control me. So let's just squash that. They're going to keep trying. I'm going to keep ignoring it, and we're going to live our lives. That can be your full-time job, is to try to stop me. But guess what? My full-time job is to be who I am. So we're going to move on because I think that what I'm saying is a healthy mental state, to have good mental health is to have control over yourself. You can't control all of the things going on outside of you, but you can control yourself. You can control your reactions, your thoughts. You can cultivate a practice that will help you to get into that space. And I'll talk about what I do to help me. But there is a lot that you can do. And unfortunately, when people go into crisis, they, not all, it's not all or nothing. When some people experience a crisis, they, at some point in that crisis, beginning, middle, or end, feel like it's somebody's job to help them. Oh, somebody's going to save me. God's going to save me. My higher power is going to save me. Somebody's going to come help. I think it's completely reasonable to expect for somebody to help relieve your suffering, but I'll tell you, I really don't think that's anybody but you. I don't think so. I think it's tragic that that this is a point where people lose faith and whatever they believe in. But from my perspective, what my beliefs are that you get tested in times of crisis and challenges that you face in life. And either you stop believing or you believe entirely. It makes you kind of commit even more. And um, I think that there's a beautiful design to that. So I think that it's having that trust, that whatever you believe is absolutely true. And yeah, there's going to be room for a higher truth, one that keeps superseding the one that you have, because it evolves. But I don't think that there's much wrong with that. Like, if I can look at my circumstance from that perspective, I can say, hey, you were testing me to see if I am fully committed to this path, and to see if I will do that with compassion, with empathy. Will I just hurt people when I come into power? And I'm grateful for an opportunity for that, because I don't want to be a monster. I don't want to be like people that are trying to hurt me. I'm not them. We're separate. I'm not associated with them. Um, and so I think that it's very freeing to look at my circumstance that way, that it really is just helping me get ready for the next step, whatever that is, and that I do have full faith, and that I know that people act in such a way because they know what I'm doing, what I'm saying is valuable, and that there would be some sort of threat to them, some sort of intimidation. I don't care about any of that. I do care about being on the right path, and strengthening my ability to be on that path. So I'm grateful for people that are trying to come for me. You can't come for me. You didn't see my video. You can't come for me. Okay. Um, I think it's good for your mental health to acknowledge these things and find truth in them for yourself, because I'm not just the one that's going through it. There's people going through it right now all over the world, and maybe you'll experience it one day. For sure, you'll experience it one day, not maybe. You will. If you have a goal and you're working towards that goal, your opposition might come in to manifestation as, like a flat tire, or car troubles, or something else that gets in the way. But know that you're on the right path. And I know that people think it's just the opposite. I have family members that think it's just the opposite, that if you're experiencing a lot of hard times, that you must be doing something wrong. And there might be some truth in that, but there is absolute truth in that. When you're going through a crisis, then you are doing things right. As long as you handle that crisis the right way, whatever that is for you, it really will help you along your path. And so um, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm just going to keep pushing. um, I also want to say that I really enjoy laughing. I smile a lot. I'm usually a happy person. Not to say I'm not I have the full range of emotions, just like every other person, but um, I really like comedy a lot. And I like making these ridiculous reels. And I'm laughing the whole time I'm making it. Like, that's therapeutic as well, is to be connected with laughter, um, with joy. And I just, so the things that I'm doing to help get through this circumstance and heal from my concussion and the trauma and all of it is making sure I'm still connected to the things that I love, like comedy, watching a funny movie, making something funny, just sharing memes, that's therapeutic to me. I think that's why so many people are doing it. It's a way to connect with other people by sharing it, having a laugh together, tagging people, all of that. But also, like, just making sure you have time to laugh, where you can genuinely laugh. Um, I really love music. I talked about it in my last episode with Ryan, which is going to be out soon. Maybe a month and a half or so, but it'll be out soon. I also have a new episode coming on Friday. Ooh. Tell everybody. but I love music so much, and music is healing. Sound is healing. Just listening to meditation music, me and my dog, it relaxes us every day, but it puts me in the state of mind I need to think and to calm down and to recover from things. Um, but listening to music that's nostalgic, and singing. I was going through my Spotify playlist that I made in like 2012, way back when. I guess it's 11 years ago. And my taste back then, and just, it's been, that's over a decade of popular music, or whatever I was listening to then. It just, yeah, it's a great experience. I'm still going through them. I've got a ton of music, and it that helps connect me to joy, to listen to music, to sing to music, be creative when I'm singing. I want to sing it in this octave or that octave, or I want to practice runs. I want to practice different types of music, to sing, to dance, to genuinely dance, and to come up with new dance moves or try new dance moves or be creative in that sense. It's just like there's endless things that you can do, to cultivate joy. And those are the things that I do. I also go to therapy. And I had to put a pause on that a little bit because quite literally my landlords were turning off my internet. The internet connection was really poor before they were doing that, or whatever. So my therapist could not even commit to um, providing therapy, like through teletherapy. We couldn't keep doing that until I could get that resolved. So um, I have not been able to go, but I am going to start back up again. I was going pretty consistently um, throughout the year, and I started EMDR therapy again, and I know I've harped on this a little bit, but I'm going to keep talking about it because it's the therapy that I am trained in. It's the therapy I'm promoting. EMDR is eye movement desensitization reprocessing. It's a therapy designed to help treat trauma. Excuse me. But it's designed to help other things as well. Um, there's been an evolution in this particular therapy modality. It helps treat addictions, honestly and truly, sleep disorders, and it's not just for individuals. You can go with your partner, couples, and you can do it as a family. You can heal traumas as a family. But you'll have to talk to your mental health professional about how that is going to look. But it's not just eye movements, it's also tapping like this. This is what I prefer, the butterfly hug. You can do on your knees. There's clickers that you can click. But it's genuinely desensitizing your traumatic memories and allowing you to break free from what trauma creates. And trauma can create anxiety and depression and sleep issues. And in addition to that, physical ailments. You can develop disease through trauma. I know people are kind of, that's kind of out there to some people, but this is what science says. Look up Dr. Gabor Maté. He's a trauma expert. He's world known. Um, I would love to have him on the show, but he has written several books. I'll put some of those details down in the details description box. Uh, but he talks about how cancer is developed through trauma. People that have emotional and psychological wounds from childhood or any point in their life can develop into an autoimmune disease or cancer, high blood pressure, a list of things, because our minds and our bodies are not separate. I mean, quite literally, people consider our mind to be our brain. Where's our brain? It's in our body. Can we survive without our head? We can't. I mean, goodness. But it's so ingrained in people that that they're separate, that they're two separate things. I want to encourage people to question what part of themselves is creating that image or what have you, because whatever that literal separation is the mind body. You thinking that we're two separate things is something that you develop with your mind, with your intuition, your imagination. It's not that it's fake, it's that you're using that um, that part of yourself incorrectly or not to your benefit. For you to be able to understand that we have a mind and then a body, whether you think they're integrated or not, means that you're using your mind. And so you can use your mind to cultivate an understanding that they're not separate, that what you think affects how you feel internally and externally. It affects your environment. Our mind and body are one, but we are also just the same as a collective. And I know that that's a debatable topic, and some people might think differently, and that's great. I welcome all kinds of opinions, but this is my opinion and this is my show. And I want to convey that it's not, we're not separate. You know, the people that are trying to mess with me are trying to affect me personally, so that it affects, the things that I'm trying to do, which is affecting other people. So they're really trying to get a foot in the door, but they just don't have one. Um, anyway, I just want to keep harping on that message that trauma affects our brain and our body, our minds, brains, and bodies. And EMDR can help heal that. Talk therapy can help heal that. All of the things that I've mentioned, laughter, music, dance, moving your body, and especially martial arts. So just the little bit of time that I've been able to start training again has been, it sucked me in. It was like I got breadcrumbed a little bit. I want the whole cake, but I'm doing what I can to kind of get things stable here and find the right community to be in. But I really want to train, and I want to make, so this is trauma part 2. I want to make trauma part 3 a kind of a documentary of you being able to see me train, tour different gyms, meet different martial artists. But I want you to know how this is affecting my life. I want you to see it in real time. And I want to invite everyone that's been on my show to fight me and let me put it on my show. Yeah, we'll make a season 3 of just me fighting people. um, but I just want to keep harping on those tools that you got choices. I know that it's kind of a general statement to make, but what I mean is that life is going to be all things. It's going to be the greatest things all the way to the worst things that can possibly happen. And you'll find yourself in the middle or either end of the spectrum at different times in your life, various times of your life, over and over and over again. I think that's part of life. But that is a separate external um, force outside of you, and that you can have full control over yourself, your force, and move that and direct that in whatever direction you want it to go. Um, a lot of people think or get stuck in the mentality that, oh, I have to be sad because the situation calls for being sad. And instead, I've been smiling this whole time. I'm not. I'm not suffering. I'm experiencing the pain that's around me, but I'm not suffering. I'm thriving. And in my perspective of what I envision for my life, I'm thriving. And that's going to look different for everybody, but that's your business. What my business is what I'm doing, and I'm on this track. And I encourage everybody to have an attitude like this, because that's what makes a difference for me. Nothing will stop me. I have a goal, I have a mission or whatever. I'm going to achieve that. And I'm going to have such a great time doing it. I really am. I'll run into other challenges. That's fine. It's just me being a part of human life, you know? And it's not going to be joyful all the time, but I'm really grateful to experience it. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for my doggy. I'm grateful for the ability to keep training after a concussion that was really serious. I'm grateful to be in the great state of Colorado, and I hope to find the right home. Um, I just wanted to, you know, come on here and talk to you guys about what's been going on, and thank you for all of your support, and um, show you that I'm gonna always keep going. I'm not gonna let anybody disrupt what I'm doing. And you know, to add to the list of things, I think that people should find joy in whatever they can do on their own. You can do that with other people too. You can go and have parties and, go hiking, and, wilderness therapy is very, very effective. Being out in nature and reconnecting. That's why there's so many retreats. Tammy Gilmore is having a retreat coming up soon. I'll put the details in the description. But you also can do things for yourself, meaning that it's great to have human connection. I'm talking about sex, okay? I'm trying to get around to saying that there's so much shame around sex that people are like, "What? Whoa, this took a turn." Like, no. I think that the goal should be to find a healthy relationship with that, with yourself and with people, with groups of people, whatever, whatever floats your boat. A healthy partner, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, but to have that be a part of joy, because it should be, from my perspective, there should be a healthy relationship between you and sex, whether you're having it on your own or you're having it with a person or people or whatever, whatever you're doing. That is a essential part of yourself and a part of life. It always has been. There's so many arguments about sex and gender expression. And it's like, we need to figure out that because it is super important. I mean, if it wasn't, we wouldn't be talking about sex every single day. My goodness. Whether you weren't taught about sex in a healthy way or weren't taught at all from a young age, to people having porn addictions, um, to having healthy relationships, having enjoyable time, healthy orgasms, things like that. Like, Of course, right when I say the word orgasm, the the AC is gonna go off. I'm fine. I think that it shouldn't be shaming. It shouldn't be everybody's a little cautious about it and whisper about it. It's like I think just like being able to go into a cage or go into a gym with mats, whatever it is, and be able to in a clear, intentional, controlled way, let out some of your anger and aggression or whatever it is that's built up in you without harming people intentionally. Now, I'm not saying you can't submit people because you can. You can choke them out. You can do all of those things. But without the intention of really harming them, you can do that. You can satisfy that need with people that are looking to do the same thing. That'll help elevate your game, help elevate their game, you know? In a jujitsu gym, I said that weird, jujitsu gym, a Muay Thai gym, a wrestling gym, one that has all of them, one that has different ones. I'm not discriminating against any martial art whatsoever. But there is a place where you can do that. You don't have to go pick a fight on the street and see who's going to win. I mean, you can do it in a controlled environment. Same thing with sex. Same thing with music. You don't have to go be on a stage to sing. You can sing in your shower or your car or wherever. You can dance in your room. You don't have to go out to a club. You can, there's places where you can get the sources of joy that you need to stay whole and aligned. And that's what I'm talking about. So, I like to dance. I like to sing. I like to be in a state of joy. I do all of those things. And I encourage plant medicine as well. I've talked about this on other episodes. We're going to be talking about it a lot more. Plant medicine or whatever source of your medicine, wherever it comes from, that's your business. I think that people have the wrong, some people have the wrong idea about drugs. Drugs have been a part of human life for as long as time. I'm not really sure how to articulate that. Maybe I'll make some citations, some scientific citations, but I do know that human beings are one of many mammals that use substances as a way to cope with life. And birds do it too, if you didn't know. Birds be getting drunk, okay? Um, but there's no judgment there because it is part of, it's like you can't shame sex. You can't shame someone wanting to dance, which is shameful in some cultures. Oh my goodness. Shame people for wanting to sing or do comedy or to do any other creative works, writing, film, things that just some cultures do not have a place for. Um, we can't just shame these things, I think that that's kind of the worst things for us to do is to shame what we naturally need to be whole human beings. And so I encourage all of those things. And I just think that we have to come to a better understanding of ourselves so that we're not so we don't succumb to these experiences that are going to keep happening. You're going to keep dealing with challenges. It's part of life. As long as you're alive, you're going to be experiencing that. But finding the right tools to navigate those things, I think it really would be life changing and elevate your life. And you can do that with a therapist. I'm a therapist. You can do that with any therapist, any quality therapist. Yes, quality therapist. Finding the right therapist can take some time. Sometimes you're not around Just because you go to the same school with people and you're in the same class doesn't mean you're going to be friends with anybody in that room or that building, or that town. You've got to find the right people for you. And same thing for a therapist. So it takes time sometimes. It's okay to say, hey, this isn't working and find somebody else. But I think it's important to stay in connection with the goals that you have for therapy. And, when things aren't going the way you want them to go, to be able to say, no, I'm going to find someone else. I need something else, or I deserve something else, something better. Um, I think I think I've shared what I want to share. I can keep going. I do not judge anybody's drug use. I don't. I don't think that the rehab industry, it's called the rehab industry, I don't think that that's doing as much good. I do think that people find help there, and I think there's a small percentage of people that don't have compassion fatigue and can really help people. And they're underpaid and they're overworked, and the systems are falling apart around them, and they're angels on earth. But and the clients or the patients or the family member or whatever that's in these facilities are also angels that have the desire to change their lives, and are looking at the tools. But I don't think these rehabs are really doing much good. I think that they really do a lot more to hurt than they do to help. I think the narrative that drugs are ruining the country or whatever it is, whatever people are saying, or people that are also doing drugs, they're high or drunk or whatever, inebriated, when they're saying those things, they're just judgmental. It's just this narrative that people of color are lazy and stuff, and they brought drugs in, and there's whatever. When everybody in some way has access to drugs, whether it's prescription medication, like, well, I'm not getting high, I'm not getting, you're getting something from it. A doctor is recommended it, or whatever, you pursued it, whatever it is, you're using drugs. If it's coffee, oh my goodness, I'm drinking tea right now. Do you understand if people that drink coffee and tea were not allowed to do that in one day's time, they would lose their mind? There's a literal war over, what is that, the Boston Tea Party? The price of tea? Let's dump all the tea in this. Listen, people need their drugs. If we were not allowed to have sugar, whole cities would be burning down. Like, oh, I can't have pie and cake anymore. My doctor says I can't eat these things or I'll have a heart attack, whatever. Like, goodness. People would lose their fucking minds. Yeah, okay. So, including myself, because I like sugar. These are drugs. These are drugs. If people said, hey, like, there are so many things that act as drugs with the chemicals in our brain that are endogenous in us. They're a part of us. They're innate. They're a part of us. It's just people's opinions about it. And a lot of people that are not educated about drugs. If you need to use drugs, hey, I don't care. And a lot of people say, oh, if I give money to a homeless person, they're going to use it on drugs. Why would that be any of your business? How is this an act of goodness if you're going to judge what somebody would, how they're going to live their, first of all, you're already judging them for being on the street. It's not like we couldn't solve this issue if we wanted to. Homelessness does not have to exist. This is a first world country, first of all. Second of all, you should not be in control of the money that you gift. If you gifted me $20, you're not going to be able to tell me how to spend the $20, okay? Third, They live outside. Why wouldn't they be using drugs when their own society has turned their back on them as a human being and a part of society? Why wouldn't they be grieving? They lost all of what they had, their house, probably their family. People are ruthless. Drugs help. That's why people use it. Have you ever taken a Tylenol or an ibuprofen when you needed it? And thanked God that you were able to do that. You're not in a third world country where you just have to be in pain. My goodness. Just all of your opinions, not yours. All of some people's opinions are just so, it's just out of place. We all do things that we need to do, whether it's out in the open or it's in the closet or in shame. We all are doing the things that we need to do. We're all trying to live and get through this thing called life. And we need to cut each other a break and shut the fuck up, because it's none of your business anyway what people are doing it with their lives. Okay. um I can guarantee you, because they really want attention, these landlords didn't like that I like to smoke cannabis outside away from everybody in private, and I even told them before I rented from them. I just do not care that some people don't accept me. I don't. You're not supposed to. That's not your role. Your role is to try to stop me. And guess what? You're not gonna. So, okay, stretch, we'll have another day, let's I'll see you at the office, okay? Your opinions don't matter to me. And I think that people should cultivate this attitude. They should laugh and smile and be joyful and accept the challenges that are inevitable, from coming. They're going to be here. Adopt a dog, rescue a dog. It'll make you happier. Do things that are good for your mental health. Say no when you need to. Say yes when you need to. Say yes to the people you need to say yes to in your life. um, Make new friends, cut people out that don't support you. uh, Go for walks outside and see the sunlight within the first hour of you waking up, because Dr. Huberman says so. Dr. Andrew Huberman told you to do it, so you better do it. Go view the sunlight with your eyes. Go view the sunset at the end of the day. That helps regulate your sleep. Get healthy sleep. Make sure your room is completely dark. Even one single tiny light can keep you from being in deep REM state, which is essential. Make sure your room is cold enough. These people were making sure that I was hot in the summertime. I'm suing them so hard. I'm suing them for everything. Um, you just need to develop healthy habits and live a loving, joyful life despite the things that are happening. You can be homeless and be a happy person. You really can. You can be homeless and be a giving person and a loving person, and your circumstances don't define you, and they don't define me. Thank you so much for listening. I will have a new episode on Friday. Thank you for listening. Email me at freedom2twoffight@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, freedom_2, the number 2_fight. I'm on Facebook, Freedom to Fight. I'm on Twitter. I'm sorry, TikTok, Freedom to Fight. I'm not on Twitter, or X, or I don't know what happened there. I don't remember. I'm on YouTube, Freedom to Fight. I'll upload these videos and just keep pushing. Thanks for all the love. Bye for now.